What's the deal, my people? You know it is Don Tony Teflon. I'm back at you, another one, and sorry about the delay. I had a little difficulty with my computer. I thought it was the internet, then it was the computer. It's all fixed. Everything is good. It was lagging really bad, but we've taken care of that whole situation, so we do not have to worry about it and everything else. And I am here today to talk about our favorite show, From, which has began shooting. So we know that it's being shot once again. And now that it's being shot, now we could talk a little bit more about what we expect from this upcoming season, what we want out of this upcoming season, and can they fulfill everything this upcoming season to make everybody happy, not just us, but the regular public. Now, listen, we are extreme, right? We are the extreme people here. We are the ones who love the show, even when it's not on. Right, we are the ones who go to conventions and do things like that. Not everybody's like that. Right, that's not the way it is for everybody. So not just for us, it's also things that have to happen for other people who just watch the show. You know what I'm saying? But before I get into all this, and I have given Phil the Issues guy the heads up, so hopefully he'll be joining me later. Let's say what up to some of the people here in the chat who have come to watch. We got Mostly Insane in the building, rocking with us. Our girl Carla is in the building, rocking with us right now. Trez is up in this piece right now, rocking with us. C. Rick is in the building. Matthew Bruce is up in this piece. Julie B. Deep Dives is in here, rocking with us. Nene is in the building, rocking with us right now. Yeah, we gotta go to the gym. Real Cinematic Therapy is in the building, rocking with us right there. I know we have more than that because I could see the number of the people watching. So maybe there's some people watching that are just chilling in the back. Our girl Carla is in the building, rocking with us right now. You know, everybody's in here. I appreciate everybody. Kay is in the building rocking with us and stuff. And if you're too shy to go in the chat, that is fine. We are cool. We'll open up the phone lines if you people want to call me. I don't want to open it up and then nobody call. You know what I mean? What's going on? CJ2K is in here rocking with us. You know, I don't want to go into and pull up the phone line, but if y'all say you want to call in, you want to speak to the Don, it's better that way for me. Helps me out. In fact, all right. We're going to pull the phone line up. And while I do this, you're not going to want to watch me do all this stuff. So we'll get the phone lines open because who want to see me do all that? But I'll still be talking to you while it is. So it was announced that it was, and how we got the announcement was, you know, basically we seen Donna and a bunch of other people. What is all that? And a bunch of other people, you know, join and share from their Instagram page. That's why you should follow them on the Instagram because, you know, that's how you get things like that. You know what I mean? On there from their Instagram and stuff. So that's how I get it. It's no secret here. How we do it and stuff. Well, we got to do this, and then we got to go here, and then we got to do that. And then we got to go back to here. And then we got to go back to that right there. I do believe that's it. All right. I think it is set up right now. The phone line should be open. It should be good. Let's see if we can put the banner on the bottom for the phone line. Do I have a From banner? I do believe it is this one. There we go. So now we have the phone line open. You can call me up and speak to the Don one-on-one anytime you want during the show. We're taking calls. All right. We're taking calls for everybody out there. The number is there. 518-290-0848 is the number. Give me a holler. Let me know what you want to feel, what you want to see this season from. Now, let's go. So, why are you blocking Acosta? I'm not blocking it. I'm just saying y'all don't need to see my chick like that. Y'all need to just keep that stuff in your head. All right. Stop sweating my shorty right there. You got plenty of other chicks, man. You got iPads chick. You got a whole bunch of girls in there, man. Go mess with them and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Carla Says, yes, lots of behind the scenes from announcements, etc. on the cast. And stuff. Yes, you should always follow them on Instagram. You know what I mean? Help them out and everything else. You know what I mean, and all that good stuff. I'm Seagull. I want to see aliens. I want to see some aliens too. Listen, don't let these people. Yeah, you got Sarah. Have Sarah. You have at it. You listen. I want to see aliens. Do not think that aliens are off the board. I know people want you to believe that stuff, but I'm telling you, when it shows up, and it happens, it'll be us together saying, "I told you so." I told you so, and all that stuff. JT Moore. I know exactly where they came from. Their talismans. But I have to save that one. Pull that back just a little bit for the next from video I got and all that. I have a whole. I know exactly where these talismans came from. I am. That's right. Tone Costa has already been steady for a while. We've already been dating for a long time, man. Whole last season. All right. Anyway, so what do we need to know about this season of From and what we need to have shown? Number one thing we're going to have to deal with right off the bat is this story walking, time travel, whatever you want to call it. That has to be handled. We have to handle that. That has to be fleshed out to the point where we know all the rules. Now, we could say that we have been given the rules already by Ethan, right? And maybe that's the case. And Ethan says that you are able to, without a doubt, you can witness the past, but you cannot change the past. Right? That's what they say and everything. So I don't believe that that's the case. I think that though he said it, and I go by a lot of things that most of the characters say, and I take it as I do think that this is different. I think that they will be able to change the past. Now, I'm going to give you an example of that too. In the show Game of Thrones and the book series, they have always said that one of their lines, one of their big lines is the page is written, the ink is dry, and you can go back and witness things, but you cannot change things. And that's what they've said throughout the whole book series and the show. But if you watch the show, you've seen that was not the case, though that's what everybody thought was the case, and that's what they put forth of being the case. In the end, Bran was able to change things in the past by going backwards in time. So that is the reason why I do not believe that the whole thing with by Ethan saying that you can go back there. That may be what they're putting forth, but I do believe that it's going to be something different and everything else. I'm not even going to comment, but trust me, I have the whole theory down on the talismans and everything else. I know that. So I do not believe that that's the case, though they want you to believe that. So I think that's going to be a little bit different there. So, but in the end, we've seen them use time travel in Lost, and they didn't do a good job at it. I'm going to be honest with you. And I think that if they were honest with themselves, I think they would say straight up that they could have done it better in Lost. They could have fleshed it out. And I think that they could learn from that. Right? They can learn from everything else. And I think that they're going to be doing it everything better. Because in the end, when you deal with the whole time travel thing, it's an easy way to get out of a lot of stuff, right? You can mess something up, time travel, get it done. Now, is it going to be that they go all the way back in time? All right, they go back in time when the first time these people made this wish for eternal life, prevent them from making the wish, and none of this stuff happens at all, and it's just done. Right? That would be an easy cop out. It'd be an easy way to end the series. I would not like to see it again. It's not my show. So if they did do that, I would accept it as the end, and that's what it is. But it's because I didn't make the show. And if that's what they have planned, then that's what they have planned. Now, I think that would just be a little bit. Wait, Wolfspear. We are not the Frumley over here. This is the Familia on Teflon TV. We don't use Frumly. We are the familiar. The familiar in the chat, if everybody know we the familiar here. And I'm the Don Tony Teflon, the Don of the familiar. This is familiar territory over here. All right, that's what it is. So you got to keep that official, baby. You know what I mean? That's the way it's got it. That's who we are. So we repping us right here. All right, put it up in there. Let the people know what it is and stuff. All right. So all the from Lee, that's somewhere else. We familiar over here. That's just the way we get down. All right. So anyway, yeah, I think that made me lose my train of thought with that. That's right. Familiar for life, baby. That's how we roll. Yeah. So when it comes down to it, in the end, when it all I hope they don't do that. I think they'll do it because we heard her say it, right? We heard her say in the show, I can go back and I can save Kenny's mother. And then Ethan shot it down, right? So I do think they're going to have boundaries on it, but how far are the boundaries going to go with it? You may not be able to go back and stop Kenny's mother from dying, but you may be able to go back and do other things. You know what I mean? And I think that's what's going to happen with her. Again, we've seen as soon as she arrived, one of the nightmare creatures say straight up, Julie, don't you remember me? All right. Episode 2. They said that. So she is going to interact with that person at some point in the past. That's going to happen. And again, when you look at the death of her father, we got to understand when we seen him die, that's not the first time he's died. He was already dead. When we seen Jim die, he was already dead. Right? They did the quick switch from it, from the whole thing. He walks away from Tabitha. And as soon as he walks away from Tabitha, the next thing we see is Julie with a different haircut. So we went from real time to the future in that as soon as he started walking away, right? He's already gone. And Julie says, I think this is where it happens. I think I found it the right time, right? I think it has been found. I think I found. So not only has he already been dead, she has already went back and searched for him, right? She's went back and searched for him. And this time she finally found it. So how many times has she gone back since he was dead and tried to change it? How many times has she went to the wrong place, and she finally got it at this particular time, right? So at this time, we can see from this right here that the death sequence is not exactly how Jim died. Because when the man in yellow comes out, he interacts with Julie. So we have to know that Julie wasn't there the first time he died. So she didn't change what happened to Jim, but she did change some of the circumstances because the man in yellow had to push her on the floor. When he originally killed Jim, there was no push on the floor because Julie wasn't there. So we have already seen her change the past. She didn't change it to the point where Jim survived, but she changed it to the point where she interacted with the whole thing going on. Right? The whole thing is still going on. And that's it. And I've seen Julie B, a deep dive, say that she doesn't agree. You listen, this is what it's all about. I'm not saying this stuff for you to agree with me. I'm saying it because this is what it's going to be. And the number is 518-290-0848. 518-290-0848 for anybody who wants to call in. You can definitely call in and everything else like that. You know, as Gonza said, your wife shouldn't have dug that hole, buddy. No, she shouldn't have dug. And again, so now we have to ask, when we ask that question, we have to ask, how did he know that his wife was digging a hole? How did he see that? She's in the basement the whole time. How was he able to see it? Now, I think that the man in yellow was set free by them playing the song. I think the whole song was a setup. And I think that's what allowed him to break free from wherever he was at and come back into the physical world. Because he says straight up that Jade sure can play. Right? He said it straight up, like, haha, that Jade sure can play. Like, that's the reason why I'm out. And again, Jim says specifically before that, maybe we shouldn't do this in town. Play this song in town because bad things can happen. Right? That's what he basically said. I'm not saying verbatim, but that's basically what he said. Bad things did happen. Right? Bad things happen. Number one, he got killed. Number two, you let free the man in yellow. Now, dealing with the man in yellow, we're going to have to see the man in yellow before he got fucked up like that. Right? We got to see him like that. You can't just have the man in yellow come in looking like that. We have to see him when he's, because when we go into Victor's father's basement, we see the picture of the man in yellow. He don't look like that. His clothes ain't dirty and shit. His shit is squeaky clean. He's got no scruff on his face. His hair is nice, dark black. Nice dark black hair. Nice suit. Got a little scar on his face and stuff, right? So the fact that we seen that picture of him like that tells me that they have to show him like that and show exactly what happened. Then is him the genie? Yes. The man in yellow most likely is the one who did that. Who is asking me to take off my shirt? Who is this? Oh, it's a girl. I'm about to do it for you. God damn it! You almost got me. I'm about to pull a KP out here. You know, I've been working out pretty good. I look pretty good naked. Yeah. I'll tell you what. I will do it when I am able to when I have the full 6-pack. I have the 4-pack. I don't have the bottom 2 yet. You know what I mean? But when I got the full 6-pack, come on here. I'll start flexing for you on the After Dark stream or something. All right, I'll start flexing for it. So yeah, I believe that we have to see that. There's no reason to show that picture. We've seen everybody else in those pictures that they've showed in that form that they've shown them. The kids look like the kids in there. All right. So we have to figure this out. They have to show us exactly this. And again, when we look at Doug Hughes, when we look at his story of what he was given about the man in yellow, the guy said straight up that when he seen this guy in the yellow suit, he looked like he was on top of the world. And then the next time he seen him, he looked like he was in rough shape. So there's got to be something that transforms the man in yellow into that man in yellow. We have to see him when he looks like he's on top of the world. We did not get that yet. We have to see him when he's on top of the world. So they're going to have to show us that without a shadow of a doubt. They're going to have to. I can't see them not doing that. And Ty says not show. So I understand, Ty. I would feel the exact same way if you was on here, bro. So I don't take no offense to that, brother. No offense at all. No offense. You know what I mean? Matt Spruce says he has a keg hanging down there. Listen, listen. If you're happy, brother, that's all that matters. If you're happy, you know that's it. If you're happy, that's all. I lost 50 pounds, brother. You know what I mean? I just wasn't happy. I was depressed. I had to get that weight off me. You know what I'm saying? So I just couldn't do it. I was going outside and shit. I'm telling you, I went to my child's wedding and shit and everything else. And I let me tell you something, man. When you're going to get it fitted for like when you're going out there and you're getting yourself fitted for like, a custom suit and they got those 3-way mirrors and shit. And you got to stand in front of that 3-way mirror. That's when I realized, I said, I'm a fat fuck. I had no idea I was that fat. I thought everything was the same until I stood in that mirror. I was like, holy shit, I'm really fat. I gotta do something about this and everything else. But that's why I just couldn't do anything else. Tony, can you get rid of the border on the screen so you aren't so small? You want me to be bigger? I can make myself bigger, I do believe. Uh uh I don't, where's the bigger one? Is it? No, that's the one I'm using right now. 1 second. I gotta delete something. I gotta delete one to make myself bigger. Where is it? Why is I had one up there that's a little bit. Here's your limit with custom layouts. Yada yada yada. All right, let me see. That should be that's this one. That's this one. That's this one. This one. That's this one. How about that? Is that better? Say we rock it like that. Is that cool? Is that all right? Is that better? Is that better right here? Because I can just keep it like this if this works for you. All right, that's better. All right. But it takes up all the special effects and everything else that's going on there when I'm this big and everything else. But that's better for you, then that's better for me. And we'll keep it going like that. All right. So, as I was saying, I'm sorry if it was too small and everything. Now you're a giant. He's like, you rocking Hillfinger, no polo. Well, everyone knows that I got 1,000 polo shirts and everything else. But I will say this, because I have lost so much weight, all my shirts don't fit anymore. And where I'm at right now, I couldn't get any right now of polo shirts. So I had to go to TJ Maxx, and the only thing they had in TJ Maxx was a bunch of Hillfinger shirts. So I bought like 7 Hillfinger shirts there. So there's nothing I can do. I can't fit all those polo shirts I had. I can't fit them. They're too big. They're too baggy. So I got to get new ones, but I got to wait for them to come in and stuff. So I had no choice. I had to get something. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I like these shirts. And the Hillfinger thing is really small. And I used to rock Tommy Hillfinger back in the Grand Poobah days, right? And all that good stuff. And all that, everything else. All right. What up to who's saying what up to me right here? Let's say what up from downtown. What's going on from downtown? You know what I mean? And Jackie C loves TJ Maxx. You say it, girl. Don't let these people make you feel bad. You shop in TJ Maxx. Don shops in there too. God damn it. What are you gonna say? All right. So yeah, so that's what I feel has to happen in there in the show so far. All right, now you're asking, how did I lose the weight? We'll go back. How did I lose the weight? Was it a special diet? It was not a special diet at all. I just revamped the diet. I stopped drinking as much as I was drinking, and I'm tell you what I do. I'll tell you what I do. I do kettlebell swings. I do 100 kettlebell swings every other day, and I use a 30-pound weight. I don't think you need to, but I use a 30-pound weight. I do 100 kettlebell swings every other day, and that's what did it. And that, I'm being honest with you, that's what did it. More than anything else, it was just them kettlebell swings. That's it, and it all went away just doing that. I'm telling you, that's what it was, and that's what it was, and that's what happened. That's the way it is. So, kettlebell swings right between the legs. I'm telling you. Do it, you'll see it. It'll go away for you too. It's not just me at work for anything. I'm telling you, kettlebell swings. That's all I did. It's the way it was. All right. Anyway, so back to this, back to the scheduling program. 518-290-0848 is the number to call and everything else and all that good stuff. So, but if you want to call in, I would love to hear from you. But yeah, so next thing we have to deal with, we're talking about is the effect of gyms. Now, I think people may think we're going to do a time jump. We have never done a time jump in this show ever. So I can't see them starting with a time jump. Now, again, oh, we got a phone call. Let's take this call. This is 360.
From downtown, 296.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Why is 1 second, brother? 1 second. My thing it's too big here. The Zoom.
Call from
downtown, 296.
Wait a second. Why did that go? All right, call right back right now. I'm sorry, from downtown. The keypad didn't pop up for me to press 1. I was looking for it and it didn't pop up. But if you call right back right now, I have the keypad up, so it shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, just call right back, or someone call right back, and I appreciate it if you did. And the Zoom was too big in there. I think that was what was going on. I had the Zoom up. But if you would like to call back, I'd like to hear from you. It's at 75. Yeah, all right. So yeah, if you want to call right back from downtown, call right back. I appreciate it and everything else. I did not say he's calling from Pound Town. He said from downtown. Yeah, call right back, homie, and I'll take the call. But I was saying, how could they do that? Now, if they did do a flash forward and everything, then we would already see her with her haircut. I believe that she gets her haircut. She goes back after they find out Jim is dead. I think they're going to go right from there. That means we're going to have another funeral this year. All right, they're going to have to give us another funeral. So we're going to have Jim's funeral. And I think that Chrissy's girlfriend, Marielle, right, is going to see Julius feeling bad about it. And as a way to make her feel better, is going to say, let me do your hair. And that's how she's going to get that haircut. Because you got to remember, Marielle, Julie, Randall, they were all tied up inside of that place. So they all got something in common there. And that has to get made too, exactly what they were seeing that made them scream like that. So I figured they got to get these people together. So if Julie is feeling bad, her dad is gone, Tabitha is going to be comforted by Jade, Julie's going to need some type of comfort. And I think Marielle will do it. And Marielle will say, hey, why don't you let me cut your hair? And that's how Julie gets that haircut from that. And then from there, we're going to see that story. And since we're talking about that story, let's talk about that story a little bit right now. Now, they have to let us know what they've seen. They cannot hold that back anymore. Like it's been too much. All right, it's been too much at all. It has to be something else going on here. We got to have something and all that stuff. From downtown says, you think we'll see the Munsters turning ceremony? Not this season, but I think if she goes all the way back in the time, yes, we'll have to see it. But I think that would be a last season thing. I don't think we're going to go that far back this season. You know, maybe, you know, when she meets that Munster, that kid Munster, maybe she meets him before he gets turned. And she talks to him then, and then he gets turned, and she watches him, and he goes and he does it. And then that's what happens. I think we will see that ceremony when it's all said and done. Thank you for the super chat. I truly appreciate it. %. You know what I mean? So I think it goes down with that. So I think that's how they start getting acquainted with each other. That's how they're cool with each other. I think it goes down like that. I think that's the only way it could go down when it's all said and done. right? I think that they have to do that. And I think that, again, what could have been so devastating? I'm asking y'all in the chat too. What could have been so devastating that made them all scream like that? And actually, the actress who plays Julie's got the ugliest scream in the world. She got the ugliest scream I've ever seen ever. Like, her face looks great. It's a beautiful little girl too. Beautiful young lady. She's a young lady. I'm sorry. You know, she's much younger than me. So I don't, you know, she's a young lady, but that face she was putting on was crazy. It was like, ah, ah. Yeah, she could have been watching the Freak Off. It was that bad. It was that bad. All right, so DeVal Williams, I am trying to cover Revival. I have the stuff to do it, but I have just been in a slump lately. I really have been. I have problems. I don't want to get over here and talk about my problems and stuff because it's really no excuse. But you know, sometimes I have deep things of depression here and there that pop into my life at the worst moments, and I've been dealing with it and everything else and all that stuff. And I really should have had those videos out. I should have had the Gilded Age video out. These are things I want to do, and I have the stuff to do it. It's just getting myself to do it, getting myself there. And hopefully this is a start of me being here and everything else of feeling alive again, you know, and all that good stuff and everything else and all that, you know. So you know, that's what it is, and everything else. We got Phil the Issues guy is in the background. It's coming to join to save the show. He's coming to save the show because the show is not as good unless Phil's here and everything. So before we go into other topics, I'll let Phil get in here, but I'll continue talking about the things that we have talked. But I'll definitely cover the show. I'm going to do it and everything else. I have so many videos that I want to do and everything else. And since Julie B is here, when you go tell your friend, I know you have a friend named Koala or something like that who does like rap stuff. Since I can't really do a lot of rap stuff myself, I have come up with a definitive ranking system to prove who the greatest rapper of all time is. And if he would like to do a video on his channel about it and go through it with me, and then I'll be willing to do it if he wanted to do it. So let's let him know if he wants to go. But this ranking system will guarantee there's no if you use this ranking system, it's impossible not to know who the greatest rapper of all time is, and it's simple, and that's what it is, and everything else. But yeah, and that's what that is. All right, let me continue here with going on with what we're dealing with from and everything, and what we need to see in from. So yeah, we need to know what they were screaming at and why they were screaming like that. And again, you have to figure out. You have to say, how were they there? What is this? Because we've seen their physical bodies somewhere else, but their main body was in there. So how does that work? Boyd was in there with them, but that was Boyd's physical body. From what we know, there was no Boyd sleeping somewhere else while all that was going on. Right? There was none of that happening. So how was Boyd able to get his physical body? And again, what could be considered some type of dream realm? How was he able to get his body in there and out and then out while they were doing that? Now, I know the showrunners came on there and they said that these people are not dreaming. I think when he said that, he meant that they're not somewhere else sleeping and this is all nightmare and people are going to wake up and none of this actually happened. That does not mean they are not in a dream realm. Again, we could say proof is what Boyd did. And if we look at everything we've been shown in this show, they have said nightmare creature, which is the name of the creature, dreams, living in a nightmare, have dream catchers in every season. Every episode has somebody say something about a dream. I'm sure everybody here can just say something that they heard somebody else say from the show in the chat of how many times they have mentioned dreams, whether it's Donna or Boyd or everyone. Everyone has mentioned it 1,000 times. You cannot bring up dream. Name the creatures, the nightmare creatures. They didn't name them the body snatchers. They didn't name them the scream creatures. They distinctively put the nightmare creatures on them. You can't have all of that going on and this have nothing to do with a dream. It's just not possible. It would make no sense. And these writers, I believe, do make sense. And that would make no sense that you bring up all these things and all of a sudden it has nothing to do with anybody in any type of dream situation at all. It would just, there'd be no need to bring it up as many times as it's brought up. You know, and it would make no sense for them to do anything else like that. Let's take this question. What are you saying here? It says from Sierra. Yes, they could. Yes, they could have been seeing an alternate timelines where they are all stuck in a dungeon with no way out. Possibly they could have been, but the horror on their face would depict to me that someone was getting tortured in front of them. Like the way they were saying, I'm not going away from the alien theory at all. Not at all. Not at all. It would seem that they were seeing something in front of them happen, or something happening fit to them that would make them scream like that. Like something was there. Like either someone was ripping inside of them and doing something, or someone was torturing something like that.
Are you talking about Randall, Marielle, and Julie?
Yes.
Yeah. Something was seriously fucking with them and got inside them beyond just being tied up and tortured. And so I do agree there probably is some elements of the dream realm. And hey, Tony, how's it going?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let him drink here. Randall said he isn't dying isn't the worst thing. Exactly. And they've hinted at that too. Didn't Martin also say something to that effect? I might be paraphrasing. I know he said it's the monster to the tip of the spear, but I also thought he hinted at something along the lines of being kept alive too long. Yes, Dr. Phil, sit on the ketchup couch. Yep, that's it. I don't know if I'm saving anything tonight. I'm in slow fucking motion today, Tony. I had a day as well, but I am happy to be here and thank you for the invite. And it's good to talk a little from.
No doubt about it. Yeah, listen, and dealing with Martin, you would have to say the same thing happened to him. So where was Martin's real body while he was trapped in there? Like, where's his body? Where was it? Because that's not his real body. From what we know, if he's just like Julie and them, his body would have to have been somewhere else. Yeah. But we can see that if you die in that spot, you die in the real world too.
Do you know where his body is? His body is like their Weekend at Bernie's him in Colony House. Donna's pretending he's alive. He's like a stoner sitting in the back of Colony House. That's what Martin is. It's like Weekend at Bernie's, Weekend at the Colony House. But yeah, I mean, maybe he's locked in a box somewhere that they tortured his body in real life and sort of like double tortured him in some ways. But yeah, possibly.
Or they used, somehow they're able to experiment on those bodies that are in the dream world to see how it affects the real people. You know what I'm saying? So if they put those worms on him in the dream world, maybe that's how he gets his prolonged life. Because he said straight up, you know, he's been there for such a long time, and the only thing that was keeping him alive was the worms, because as soon as the worms left his body, he died. So it wasn't anything else that happened to him and stuff. As soon as the worms left his body, he died.
Yeah, he turned to dust.
The only thing that was keeping him alive was those worms. And that was it inside of him. And that's all. So again, we need to know, that's another thing that we need to know. What the fuck is going on with them damn worms? What are those worms? But we do know about the worms is that somehow they have a bad reaction to these zombie creatures, nightmare creatures. And I think it's because they don't have any blood in their body. I think that's why it killed them, because there's no blood there for them.
Did it kill him, or did it charge him and make him extra powerful? So when Smiley's reborn, he's actually gonna be like more powerful than he was because he added the power of the worm to him or some shit like that. Like Smiley's gonna have worm powers next season.
Listen, I wouldn't doubt it if they did something like that. But from what they were showing, I think they were trying to say killed him.
Yeah, I know. I'm just imagining like Smiley reborn with the power of the worm, and he all has to just smile at you and you have worms in your brain or some shit like that.
I think when it comes down to it, the only thing I can see possible is that it was in the people with blood didn't die from it. The person who had no blood did die from it. Right, as Jackie C says, the power of the world. Thank you from downtown for the super chat. Very generous. They have to introduce us to all the different parts of this place, and I don't mean where they got the vegetables from either. I mean other places with other people in it, with information. If there are other places with people in it, we know that the vegetables are there. Vegetables don't plant themselves, and everything else. But again, when we look at situations like that, it can easily be explained away that Julie planted the vegetables.
Like future Julie?
Yeah, that you went back in time with seeds and planted them in there because she knew that they were going to do something bad to the thing and they were going to need them. See, it's when you have this time travel thing, I can put Julie in every situation in the show.
Yeah. Or there's also whatever was banging on the walls when they were singing.
That could be Julie. Julie was out there banging on.
Remember, we thought it would be Victor's sister, but no, it could be just time traveling Julie.
It could be time traveling Julie doing that.
It could be Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted could be there.
When you introduce this, I can put her in every scenario that we've seen without a shadow of a doubt because of this situation. So now we're going to have to see what's going on with this whole thing. You know what I mean? But it could have been her banging on the thing out there. That could have been Julie. Julie could have planted the vegetables out there. Julie could have painted the fucking rock that color. Julie could have been the one that hung the fucking the statues that were outside the town.
I'm not saying From isn't going to do it well, Tony, but you're identifying the reason why I don't love time travel.
I feel.
Why, like when Game of Thrones, like when got introduced with the Bran stuff, people started calling in and asking questions about time travel. So if Brando's back and he goes back twice and he whispers to Ned and whispers twice and whispers in the wind, is that considered time travel? Is that considered like, I get it. It makes my head hurt. I prefer my time travel in like Bill and Ted or Hot Tub Time Machine or friggin' Back to the Future, some comedic tone to it. So it's or something like 12 Monkeys did it perfectly from like a taking it seriously standpoint. But I think time travel more often than not is not my favorite thing unless it involves Star Trek and whales. I don't know. That's just it. Compton, we've got whales. I mean, I don't mind that shit, but
I like it when it's done right. You know what I mean? Like, was it done right in Avengers Endgame? I don't think it was done wrong.
No, it was all right. It was Back to the Future-y.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But again, it all comes down to what are you going to do? But I'm saying you could throw her in anything now. Yep. You could throw her in any situation that's any mystery. You can just say Julie, and she's the answer for everything if you want. And I don't like that because, again, that could be a cop-out. That could be a way just to set the thing straight or a plot hole filler. You know what I mean? But I'm going to have 12 Monkeys was incredible.
Yeah, it was. That's one of my favorite movies. It's really good.
Yeah, I can't deny that. But I believe in these writers. They haven't done anything to make me not believe in them. I mean, even with the rebirth of Smiley, it was foreshadowed. They had it on the wall. So I know people didn't like it and everything else, but it was there. They knew that was going to happen. I don't understand how they would have been able to change what they did, the seasons and stuff. I don't know how they were planned on bringing her back, having this whole with Victor and everything happen this season, and they moved it up a season. I don't know how they did that and what they pushed back. I don't understand, but I'm going to trust in them that they're going to get this thing.
Do you think we're likely to get new people entering town next season, or that will stop?
I can't. It makes no sense. I mean, listen, Phil. We've seen them come in on the bus. We've seen them come in the ambulance.
Parachute. We haven't had parachute.
Is someone parachuting down? That's what I was gonna say. Is this gonna be the Riddick Bowe fight? Is this gonna be Fan Man coming through there?
That changed that whole fight too. That changed that whole fight.
Sure did change that fucking fight. It was Holyfield only won that fight because of Fan Man. He was getting his ass kicked.
Is there a more unlucky boxer in history than Riddick Bowe?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He's definitely on the list. If we were making like the most unlucky boxers in history, Riddick Bowe would be.
Without a shadow of a doubt. He won 2 fights by getting hit low.
Yeah, exactly. And then a Fan Man, and then fucking
Fan Man cost him a fight he was already winning. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was terrible. That was such a big story, that Fan Man. What balls that guy had to do that. You know what I mean? Like, he really said, I'm going to fly into the ring. And he got his ass kicked in that ring.
Dude, they jumped on his ass. And he must have known that was going to happen, too.
That's when they had those big-ass cell phones, and that guy was smacking him in the head with that
the big Motorola brick.
Right in the head with it, Fan Man. Oh, poor Fan Man.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so people say, why not? All right, so what I think is, it's almost a prison bus will be next season. I just don't see
the Oz crew comes in.
I don't see the need to revamp the cast now. I think you have enough in here, and to add somebody else in it when you have so many open storylines. You got the whole Victor's father storyline. You got the Eloise storyline. So if a new character is going to be like Eloise, I could see that being a new character. Right, someone like that. But as for someone new coming in there, we've seen it already, and you can't do that every season. They've done it every season so far. Yeah. They've done it season 1. They've done it in season 2, and you've done it in season 3. The people walking around, and it had to be the black guy to shake hands with the damn monster like a fool. And why it got to be a black guy? God damn it! Why'd it have to be him to make us all look bad and shit? I'm gonna go shake. I don't want no black people ain't shaking hands with motherfuckers. We don't do that. Had to be him to do it though. God damn it. But I think you can't do it 4 seasons in a row. You're gonna have new people coming in here and not knowing what's going on. We've already seen that plot too many times. You got the Bata situation. You got everyone else in there. You got to shut it down right now. You got to either kill these people off and then do it. If they would have had a major massacre and wipe the town out, then I could see it. But right now, I can't see it. Chanel, what's going on? What's going on? Saying long time no see. That's not because of us. That's because of you cats. But we'll be back here now that we are in production. We could be here every week doing a stream for y'all from the Familia. You know what I mean? And keep going over stuff and all that. I guess you know what I mean. I think we will see a dump truck. Jay Sleek, that is a good chance that you'll see the dump truck. I don't know if you'll see it this season, but 100%.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Acosta for a second.
Oh, you leave my girlfriend alone.
I thought you were talking about that dump truck.
Yeah, you gotta leave her alone.
But you're right, Tony. There's too many characters that, again, like all jokes aside, I'm not saying there's too many, but there's already too many characters to add too many more. Like we have so many storylines and so many things to focus more attention on. I don't want to see certain characters get left behind because we introduce too many new characters. There's just so much stuff to do with certain other people. I
don't know if we ever seen Mick Skippy in here before. Have you ever seen Mick Skippy?
No, that's a cool name though.
It is a good name.
Did you get to see the video of Jade? Like, I feel like they did that because we suggested it with Jade and Victor jamming.
Yep, we did.
Convention. We did. I feel like I can't say for sure, but didn't we suggest that to Scott?
We 100% told Scott that he should jam with Jade. We 100% told Scott that, and now we seen it happen. Then Scott says like, we should take this on the road.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Do we get a cut? No, I'm kidding.
We should get a cut. Big Skippy, welcome. Hope you should subscribe. I'm glad you rocking with us and everything. Now we said that shit, and now they doing it, man. We should get it, or at least they should let you jam with them.
Yeah, I'll play drums. I'll play a little drums. That'd be
and
fun.
everything. And that's the way it should be. And
Yeah, and
everything.
you can MC and host the tour. You know, you do 15 minutes at the beginning, do 15 minutes in between sets. You know.
100%, without a doubt, and everything. He said, Mick Skippy says, I always miss the live shows, but I do watch the videos. I want to say, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it 100%. We have over 100 people in here rocking with us right now. You know what I mean? I really appreciate it, especially in the off season. That's a phenomenal number a phenomenal number. And I appreciate all the familiar rocking with us. Next season, Ethan will be old enough to drink. Next season, Ethan's beard's going to be longer than mine.
You know what's funny about this, Tony? And I don't mean to use this as an excuse to rag on another show, but it's like the Stranger Things kids. Like they're just about to, you know, they're like 50 years old now for this final season. Millie Bobby Brown looks like she's like 47 years old right now. And that's what the unfortunate thing when you deal with kid actors. Now, what's your philosophy with it, since these shows aren't every year? Because it was the problem was every year. Do you think recasting, like,
you can't recast Ethan? Too many people would this wouldn't go over well. I mean, it was funny how they said it. Victor's like, you look different, so do you.
Yeah. Yeah, with the boy in white, it can work.
Yeah, with the boy in white. You look different, so do you.
Yeah.
I didn't say nothing about that, did I? Why'd you got to bring that up?
We're not talking about me, Tony. We're not talking about my problem. We're talking about you. We're talking about you, man. That's like something you say at an intervention. We're not talking about you, Tony. We're talking about me.
Yeah, exactly. She does the most. What's going on? She does the most. After that, yeah. What up to Sci-Fi Vision is in the building. What up to Sci-Fi? We always just say tall wall.
Yeah, tall wall.
Like he lost. You know this thing.
Yeah, I know exactly what
they're
talking about. Yeah, I know exactly what they're talking about. Actually, friggin' Augustus Hill, the star from Harold Perrineau's character on Lost. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. I'm out of the From situation for a while. Yeah, his character on Lost Son was a kid. They cast him, and they had a whole storyline plan for him, but the dude like aged and had like a growth spurt in the middle of production, so they sort of had to change the storyline, and they just had him show up once, and like they just sort of tried to film around that he was fucking like, you know, 6'3" at that point, and the last time he was on camera, he was a tiny kid. They kind of tried to work around it.
Yeah, that happened. That happened. You're breaking up. That it could be something going on here. That happened with Jaleel White with Earth, and they say he said in his book. If y'all read the book, that they had to have him stop wearing the pants so tight because it was showing too much that he got. So they had to calm down. So if you look at the last season of Urkel, you see his pants are a lot baggier than they were.
He did do that. Oh my goodness, he fucking did that.
That's what happened. Is that you got to cut back on those tight pants, bro. But yeah, you know, it's a problem with child actors. It's a problem now and everything with people when they are dealing with 2 years to shoot and everything else and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
and that's more of a problem. I mean, it was a problem when it was 1 year. Now that it's 2 years, it's a huge problem. And then with a show like Stranger Things, it takes like 10 years to shoot. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, that it's a problem. You know what I mean? And it's going to be it. But listen, I think that, you know, just have Julie fix everything. I remember when I was talking to Real, you know, shout out to Real Enigma and Theories, my bro. And he was telling me, we were talking, he's like, Jade's beard ain't got no bigger from season 1. I'm like, dude, come on, my brother. This dude's hair is growing extensively and everything else. You know, now there's no saying anything about it. There's nothing to say. Again, this is all supposed to be happening in a matter of weeks. It's not like they've been out there months and all this stuff is going on. This is only weeks this show is taking place. You know what I mean? And for Jade's hair to grow like that in weeks, now we can explain it away. It's easy because we've seen that people heal here faster, right? Ethan got injured, and while he was there, the healing went on fast. You know what I mean? And it was faster. So that would be it. No Context said they had to recast the Boy in White. Is that correct? That they recasted the Boy in White? The Boy in White wouldn't be as big of a deal if he was recasted. And Ethan's different.
Yeah.
Like Ethan's a big deal. Like the Boy in White, you could recast the Boy in White. No one would care. Just put another kid in a white Wimbledon suit like he's going to play tennis in center court. And that's fine. No one's going to care about it. No one's going to. But if you recast Ethan, it would be a problem. People would say stuff about it and everything else.
Yeah.
And all that. It wouldn't work over as well. You know what I mean?
It only works if he was younger and you kind of quickly recast him. It was a problem with Game of Thrones too with Bran when he aged a bit too quick too, and by the end he shouldn't have been as old as he looked. So it's tough when you cast child actors.
It was a problem with Sansa.
Yeah, totally.
Sansa came back and she was 2 feet taller than Jon Snow. She was 2 feet taller than Jon Snow out of nowhere. And everything. You know what I mean? What's going on, Sonic, your boy? You got a little bit. All right, Phil, can you hold? I got to get another drink real quick.
Absolutely. I miss the old days when a new season got dropped out every year. Absolutely. It's one of those things that when shows, you could build an audience easier. I think sometimes when you go the 2 years, it stretches things out and makes it harder to get back into the shows, and it makes it kind of easier to do things like that. Like the beard just grows and you don't really talk about it too often. Yeah, Bran was supposed to be like 11, but looked around 20. That's absolutely right. Especially when he came back and he disappeared for a while, then he shot back. But Tony's right. You can't do it with a character like Ethan. He's just been too established, his personality. It could work. It can work with the Boy in White. And someone said they cast him with Tom Hardy. That's good. It can work with the Boy in White because he is more of a magical creature of some sort, or an alien creature of some sort, whatever you want to think. So he can change a little bit. And they already, as Tony said, they made the joke about him looking different when he was talking to Scott. What else the character's name? Victor, thank you. Yeah. So absolutely, it's casting kids is difficult. And also it's difficult when you haven't talked about a show in so many months to remember character names, especially when I'm approaching grandpa age, Tony, and I smoke a metric ton of marijuana. It's tough. It's tough to remember character names.
I hear you. I got this off real quick. I am right now. I'm going to pause this real quick because it's going to come in. I'm going to try to pause it. I'm going to see if I can gift some memberships out.
Ooh, here we go.
Now, we only have 67 likes. We have over 100 people here. Is it possible we can get those likes up? I'm going to give some memberships. So is that maybe you can like it? Maybe we can get at least 95 or something like that.
I wonder, it's the real thing is, will Jackie C finally get one?
Yes, it's about. We need to get Jackie C.
Like, come on, lottery. Make sure you have that turned on, Jackie C. Because it's a setting you have to make sure is on. So let's see if the lottery can work and Jackie C can win one. If I had a child, what was that, Tony?
This happened to me before, and I don't understand. Like when I have tried to get into the chat from my page here, it won't allow me to get into it. It's like says open panel for live chat, and it never opens the panel.
Yeah, they make you do it from from an actual watch page. It's weird, but we did get 10 memberships from somebody else. Just gave 10 memberships from downtown. Did
we really?
Yes.
All right, let me see if I can give some memberships here too.
And the people we got Classic EverQuest, Debbie O'Bebby, Samuel B. I'm not Beckley, RC, JNYC, the dog, Christine, Panda, Lem, It Is What It Is, and Cam Crash Course. Oh, is Jackie already a member? Okay, she already got one. Okay.
I just gifted 5 for y'all right there.
Here we go. We got Kevon Thompson, nonfiction, Cannibal the Dragon, Orlando R, and Doc Hayes.
There you go. See if we can get the lights. So thank y'all all for And thank you for gifting them the 10. I truly appreciate it. And hopefully everybody. Jackie C's already got one. Yeah, it was an ordeal a little bit for Jackie C.
Oh, I didn't know she got one. I didn't know she got one.
Did she get one?
I didn't. I let me look at her name. I didn't see a little picture next to it. Maybe she got one before and it had expired or something.
All right, let me start my camera up again. All right, there it is and everything else. Yeah, listen, congratulations everybody who's a member. Use those emojis, jump on that, and everything else. Throw them up in there. The Don Tony Teflon Philly Issues guy. We got a bunch of emojis, LMR, and all that good stuff, and all that. And now you have the talisman by your name, so now you are safe and protected from everybody out there. You ain't got to worry about it there. I don't see my name. She has a wrench. She doesn't have a membership. I don't think she's not green.
Okay, someone got confused. Someone in the chat got confused, Jackie. They thought your wrench meant you had you had one.
Jackie she is still.
Yeah, she's like Better Call Saul at the fucking Emmys.
You gotta get Jackie C a membership. It never lands on Jackie. You gotta get it to land on Jackie.
She's 0-46. Oh my goodness.
We gotta get it to land on Jackie C. All right, still going on about from season 4. Phil, what do they need to show you to make this season successful?
Ooh,
besides us on set, which we should be.
Yeah,
they should have us on set. It's bullshit that we're not on set. And I'm talking to everybody. Phil and I should be the ones allowed on set at any YouTubers, and that's hands down.
Yeah, we should be hosting
covering it the longest. We help the fandom the most. That they should allow us to come on there and just chill a little bit. And I promise, I'm not gonna hit on Acosta. I'm not gonna do nothing like that. Don knows how to control him, so I can't help. You know what I mean? But people hit on me. You know what I'm saying? But I know how to control myself. And I will be smoking weed at Colony House. I can't control myself.
But no, I know it's the fake stuff. But what do I need to see? I think we really do need. I don't want next season to be the conclusion, but we need to start heading into that end game kind of feel, because I do think season 5 probably will be the end. I think we need to establish more about it's more what I don't want. I don't want a season of Julie time travel stuff. You think we're gonna get like this whole season's gonna be dealing with the time travel and Julie?
I think anything that has to do with her will deal with that.
Yeah. I mean, okay. What I really need to see, and this is not news, we need to get back to scary. We need to get back to a little bit more horror, and the thing needs to really change. The game really needs to change to impress me, to really push me. I want to see a bloodbath, Tony.
I hear you.
Clear the decks a little bit. We need to up the stakes.
I think they need to kill. I thought last season, and I said it last season.
That's what I'm saying. I'm repeating myself, kind of. It's the way I said for last.
They should have killed off a lot of people last year. I think that killing off Kenny's mom was mean, but it wasn't enough.
You bastards! Sorry.
Yeah, killing off. I don't even think Elgin's dead. He was still moving there.
No, he's just lost. His eye is gonna get poked back in.
Yeah, he just lost an eye, but I don't think he's dead. I think Elgin is still alive. You need to kill some of the main cast. You know what I mean? You need to kill these main cast members. Need to go. Number one is Kenny. I think Kenny needs to get out of here. All right, that's my personal opinion. I know there's a lot of Kenny fans out there and everything else, but to me, it's too predictable if Kenny lives throughout this whole thing. Like, no one thinks Kenny's gonna die, and if you really want to throw a monkey wrench in this situation, you kill Kenny off. You get Kenny out. See, Rick just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much for the gift. Did we get a Jackie C membership, Phil?
No. We got Pry, we got Chase, we got Angela, we got Tari, and we got IG Dank Gut Dunks. Great name, IG Dank Gut Dunks.
Now you remember and all that. I appreciate everybody for. Oh, look at who's doing. This is Christina Jellybean. Christine Jellybean is now a member. Thank you. Yep. Thank everyone who's giving out those gifts. Thank you so much for doing that. Really appreciate it. We need people like I feel Kenny. Listen, we need Kenny. Listen, if you're trying to do something that's unpredictable in the show, you kill Kenny, right? I think everyone thinks Kenny's making it out of here.
Or Chrissy. I hate to say it, like, or Chrissy's another one you could kill.
Chrissy's another one that could go. I don't want to see Chrissy go. I particularly do want to see Kenny go, but in general, Chrissy too. Like Chrissy, no one thinks Chrissy's gonna die, right?
Donna might do it too.
Donna. No one thinks Donna's gonna die, right? You need to kill somebody that's gonna really have some impact.
And Jim doesn't count because everyone wanted Jim to die.
Yeah, no, Jim doesn't count. Jim does not count. They did the fan service there when they were doing that. You know what I mean? And all that good stuff. I don't see that. Donna, speaking of her, needs to have a storyline this season. She has had no storyline since the show has started. None at all.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying earlier when we were when you were talking about new characters coming in. Donna's one of those people that has they're already having trouble balancing, not trouble, but they have so many characters, so much stuff to do that some people are getting left behind. What was Donna's storyline this year? She kind of had a relationship with Victor's dad. Like they kind of bonded a little bit, but it wasn't really fleshed out.
It was funny when we had Donna's husband on here. And then I brought that up. Y'all go take a look at that interview. I brought that up. He was like, I didn't see that.
Yeah, exactly. Totally. He's like, oh, I didn't pick up on that. I'll have to watch back.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't see the dominate to him. I didn't see that at all.
but that was kind of that in losing Dale, and having to deal with the fact that she had a love-hate relationship with Dale, and losing him and processing that, and but ultimately her role was to come in the end of a scene with her hands in her pockets going, what the hell's going on? They didn't give her a full story. She
doesn't have a story. She hasn't. You can go through everyone. Randall has a storyline. People saying they love Jim. Listen, you love Jim. I'm not saying the majority of the fandom did. I would say that. You know what I mean? Again, if you want to call in, 518-290-0848. is the number to call in and ask a question. It's easier if you just call in. If you can't call in, I'll try to do my best to see them, you know what I mean, and answer them for you. But you can call right in, 518-290-0848, and ask a question. We'd love to hear from you. Listen, Randall has a storyline. He just got there. Donna's been there, but Randall had a storyline. All right? Donna's storyline intersected with him for 1 second, and that was it. Elgin had a storyline. He just got there. He had a storyline. Sarah's got a storyline. Everyone in the show has a storyline but Donna. Only thing they've given her is the mother hen role, which is why Donna has to be the mole. There's no other way around it. There's nothing else they could do. They have to make her the mole. That has to be the storyline. I'm telling you that when it comes down to it, Randall, even though he looked crazy, is going to be right about it. And when he had Donna and he had it out there and he put it to the tree, they would not have killed Donna.
Do you think they're going to have like a Jon Snow with the wildlings moment where he stabs the shapeshifter guy? Where, hey, you were right. Oh, you were right about me all the time. And she stabs Randall in the side of the head.
See, I would love for her to do that. You know, I would love for her to do that. Would be great. But Donna's going to do the turn. I'm telling you, I guarantee she's going to do the turn. Mick Skippy, do you think it's possible with time travel stuff that Jim could be saved? I think if they do that, they prevent the whole thing from happening altogether, then he gets saved. But I don't think specifically that they'll be able to save him from it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't see that.
So kind of what you were saying, if there's the Jumanji end, like when they end this game, it all goes back to before the game. And like we flash to Boyd in the car with his wife alive and they're all driving. And that's the end of our series. That's the only way Jim's going to be saved, if they can somehow reset this, essentially.
Yeah, they would have to reset the whole thing. And this never happens. And then you just see flashbacks. You'll see them driving in the car. You'll see Boyd and his wife and Ellis driving through the car, and they'll just keep going instead of getting pulled in there.
Yeah.
They'll just keep going right by. You'll see them. You'll see them driving in their car, and they'll just keep driving, and they'll get to that spot, and it would end something like that. I think is how they would do it if they did something that would be the end of it. And everything else. Let's go back to Marielle wearing those jeans. Listen, Marielle was wearing those jeans. Goddamn it! Let's not lie about that. She was wearing those jeans as good as Jessica Jones was wearing her jeans.
Nothing.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you on. I ain't gonna lie. She's of age too, so I could say that.
I feel like that is the most likely ending if there is a reset to all of this, that we see everyone about to turn in, but they don't get blocked off. The tree isn't there. That would be almost, that's a logical ending. If
instead of the tree being there, you just see him go right past. This all go right past it, and you would just see him drive right past it and drive right past it, and that's how you would end the show. If I was going to do it that way, that's what I would show. Like if Boyd gets excited about the boat and everything else, and then you see him just drive right past, and you can even see him get to his house and the boat's there.
Yep.
And that's how it ends for Boyd. And then you would realize how everything else ended for all of them. Acosta and everything else would never be there because that would have never happened because all that stuff wouldn't have happened, everything else, and that would be the ending. If I was going to do it, Don Tony Teflon, and that was the route I was going to take, that's what I would show for the ending. I would do it that way and everything. So if the showrunners are watching this and you want to use the Don's idea, that's fine. Just let me and Phil come on set and chill for a little bit. That's all. But y'all can use it. It's all good. Put it out there and everything else.
Yeah, we won't tell anybody.
No, you ain't gonna tell nobody. We ain't got big mouths like that, Phil.
Definitely not.
Of course not, and everything else. So what about Elgin? What about the aftermath of Elgin? How do you think that's going to be handled?
So, okay, I need refresher. So let me talk through, make sure I remember the last time we see Elgin. Elgin gets brainwashed by the succubus creature, whatever.
Yes.
Ends up
the unFatima.
Yeah, the not Fatima, Fatima,
not Fatima angel.
Yep, and then helps get the pregnancy Fatima down there for so they can deliver Smiley and all that sort of shit. But then Sarah ends up Jack Bauering him and ripping out an eye to get information from him, and that's the last we see him, like bloody on the ground. After him and Sarah end up dating by the end of next season.
You think so?
Oh fuck yeah, they're fucking.
Yeah, that's the least you could do for me for ripping my eye out.
And she's totally going to. That's totally happening.
That's the least you could do.
I would bet money that Sarah and Elgin do it next season.
All right, we're gonna put that on a. Let's put that. Can we put that in the poll?
I might be off my rocker there. I just feel like that's 100% happening. That's Elgin's storyline next season. Him and Sarah are boning. That's happening.
Well, Elgin.
Glenn Carr's taking that bet. Okay, no, well, I don't have money, so no money on that. We'll do a fun bet.
Sarah.
It's gonna go hard no here. I think I'm in the minority. I'll be the one yes vote.
Listen,
yes.
If you rip my eyeball out, if you rip out my eyeball, that's the least you can do for me.
Yeah,
that's the least you can do.
And he'll get it. He'll be like, "Oh, I understand. I was wrong. I'm sorry."
Yeah, listen, boy. You better have a cape hanging out of it, boy.
I'm getting destroyed. Elgin gets
right on it.
Kenny. Elgin before Kenny. 100% Elgin before Kenny. I know people. Thank you. I appreciate losing this vote. It's like 80-20. It's gonna go bad for me here, but. Mark my words when it happens, everyone. You come to the after show and say thank you, Phil, for letting me know. The last time she kissed a guy, she killed him after. Yeah, she's gonna do better this time. You know,
yes, you gotta make up for that.
Yeah,
you gotta make up for Toby.
This is a new Sarah.
She's gotta make up for it. Listen, she might do it. It's like I could see her, saying, "Listen, I could see Elgin playing the card. She comes to him. I'm sorry, Elgin. How she likes to whisper, Sarah, like she never talks high. She's like, I'm sorry, Elgin. I had no choice. I had to save it." And Elgin's just like, "It's all right, Sarah. I just, my eye, it hurts so bad." And she goes, "Oh."
And then she's gonna start taking care of him every day, and next thing you know, they're gonna be doing it.
That's it. The cheeks are clapped. And I could see it happening, Phil. I could see it happening. I mean, I could see it happen. That would have to happen for me. That you would have to do that for me. 100%.
So my Elgin story for next season is Sarah nursing him back to health and eventually hooking up.
All right. What are we looking here? We are at.
It's bad. Yeah, I'm surprised I have
79%. No. You have 25%, Phil. That's not bad at all.
It's not bad. That's not bad.
You have 25.
25 right people. You people are going to be right. Join the train. Join the train to Bone Town, everybody. Sorry. It's awful. It's awful. So,
listen, I could see that playing out all day. I could see the sympathy sex. I could see it going down. Someone in the main cast has to get smashed, and it's not going to be El Costa and Kenny. Let's go right here. Thank you for the super chat from downtown. So we haven't talked about the voices in a while. Again, we could chalk all the voices up to Julie if you want to. It's easy to do. It's easy to do to put the voices on Julie. That Julie is going back into time and doing all that.
And it's her voice whispering through time,
It's her whispering through time. It's her. She's the one who wrote the thing on Sarah's arm. She's the one who forced Sarah to write the message. She's the one who's done everything. I could put it all on Julie. I'll do a video and put everything on Julie because it's easy to put it on Julie now. Everything in there. It's easy to do. Yep, she was the one communicating with him. Julie is the one doing that. Julie is the one who put the thing on Sarah's arm and said, "Kill the boy." Julie is the one who forced her to because she went back into time and seen Father Khatri bury that thing in there and then had him dig up the whole thing. Julie could have done it all.
Yep.
It's easy to see that Julie did all that stuff. 100%. 100%. I could easily see it going down like that.
Sonic says Tony will stop covering From and join a bowling league if Kenny and Acosta get together.
Number one, I'm too good looking to join a bowling league. All right. There's no good looking people in bowling leagues. All right, so I can't do that right now. I gotta wait until I'm like maybe 15, 20 more years, then I can join the bowling league. But no, I wouldn't be. I would just say I would be more interested then because I know Kenny don't hold like the Don. I can guarantee that. And I can guarantee that is not a man I would be worried about coming behind at all. At all. The other way around would be for Kenny. All right. As in that great movie, The Ladies' Man. You seen The Ladies' Man, Phil?
Yes, sir.
When that guy looked at The Ladies' Man, he said, "Damn, she took all that." And he said, "And she took it well." That is what the situation would be. We're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon. All right, let's see if we can right this time.
From.
I got.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon, Phil the Issues Guy. This is KP in the building.
What up, y'all? What up? Listen. Tony, Phil, chat is really good to hear, to see you guys on tonight. You know what I mean? I thought we had a date for last night to watch Revival, but I don't know if we're still doing that, so you let me know about that,
Yeah,
Tony.
I promise you, I will get to the revival stuff this week.
And we also have
Do
to
you
have
like?
like
Let me ask you real
a
quick,
series
JP, before you
about
get.
your book.
Do you like revival? Do you like it so far?
I saw the first episode. I didn't take the TV off, so it's holding me. It's holding me. It's interesting, and so if they keep it as it's like kind of grungy feel, you know. So they keep it as grungy and real and like with mild dark humor here and there. If they keep it like that and they keep the storyline going where I think it's going, I think it'll be a good one. I think we'll have a next from. But enough of that. Let's just. I have just 3 or 4 points on what I want to see from season 4. So the first one is I want to see Doug, the man in yellow, and I do not want him to be a shaggy dog. I don't want him to be, I don't want him to try to do a bait and switch where they say, all right, cool, listen, here's the man in yellow. He's amazing. He killed Jim. He has all these powers. And then the first episode of the fourth season, the first scene of the first episode of the fourth season, he just disappears and you never see him again. Like, you know, stuff like that. I don't want to do that. I don't want them to do that to me at all. I want the man in yellow to be, if not the head, the HNIC, as we say, Tony. If he's not the HNIC, then there's the second HNIC. You know what I mean? Like, I want him to be a big part of the story. And I'm not biased because I enjoy watching him and you and Julie chat it up. But I'm not biased because I've spoken to him a bunch of times. He's a really nice guy. He has amazing stories about blondes not having TVs and stuff. Like, but I really do think the character is a good character. So that's my first little point. I also want to see. I think Phil or somebody mentioned it. I don't want this to turn into a Julie Story Walks. And instead of being it just becomes, the name of the show becomes Julie Story Walks, end of story. And like all the entire series is dedicated to her story walking. And then incidentally, because of her story walking, things happen to the other people. I hope they don't do that. I don't want to see that. I'll take the TV off. I'll have no problem. I'll put some old Monty Python in, and I'll be real good. I want to see these monsters actually be a problem. Like, they've been used in a gimmicky way to stage events that then become problems. And that's fine if there's like shown that there's a hive mind or an entity that's controlling them, that's sending them out on these missions. But I want to see, I want, like when Smiley ran into Victor's mom and killed her or whatever, like, I want to see them do things like that. You know? I want to see them, I want to see them scare the shit out of people again. And I also, like, this is my fourth point, I also want to see, I also want to get some answers for what's happening down at the place with the hot. I want to get some answers for what are these voices inside that girl's head. And I want to get some answers as to where we are, why we're here, and can we, and will we, and how will we get out? Those are the things I want to see. Does that make sense? Did I make sense in those 4 points?
You did make sense, 100%. 100%.
All right. Well, listen. So I'll give you some time. I'm watching the TV. I won't take up the phone line too much. I'm watching the TV, but you can answer my 4 points. I'll just go back to them real quickly. I want to see the man in yellow be an actual big deal, not just a flash in the pan. 2, I want to see the monsters be actually scary and not just used as plot devices. 3, I want answers to things. And well, the other one was I don't want this to be just a Julie just walks through history, and because of that, things incidentally change. So, all right, guys, great talking. Watching me TV. You guys have a great night, and you know what? If I'm bored, I'll call back again. Phil, have a good night. Tony, have a good night. Chat, have a good night. Bye bye.
All right, thank you for the call, KP. Appreciate it, 100%. I think he makes solid points on all these things he said. You know, again, I can explain everything with Julie, everything, anything that's happening. I don't want to, but I can do it. I can do anything you want and put it on Julie or somebody with Julie. It doesn't have to be Julie. Say Julie went back with somebody else and they did that and all that. I just gifted 5 more memberships. So if you have gotten that membership, I can't tell. Did Jackie get one?
I do not think so. But the other thing that KP says that I really do subscribe to as the man in yellow, and I think you talked a little bit about this before I got on earlier, but I could totally see them giving us a whole man in yellow bottle episode of some sort where we get to see more of where he came from. I also think somehow he was released, whether it was from the song. I do think you make a good point about the reference to the song. It also could have been when they moved the rocks in that area, like when they came into that area and sort of had to fuck with sort of that outside talisman thing that was protecting the area. And when they walked in and then someone fucked with the rock, like something released him, I think, for sure. Yeah. So he seemed free, like he was stretching out. Seemed to be his vibe. So I do think we're going to get a lot more of his character, and I think maybe he can to have a Freddy of sorts could help. If we have a direct Freddy that's causing a lot of the nightmare fuel, it might, but between him and Smiley, the question I have is, will we have interactions between him and Smiley? Will Smiley be a minion of him, or are they opposing forces in some ways? I don't know.
Yeah, they're all minions. When Doug came out, when he was on my channel with you, our show, he says that he felt like he was the CEO of the Monsters.
Yep.
That's the words he used, that he felt like he was the CEO. So he didn't say president, but he's the boss of the Monsters. And again, he had the same exact claws as the Monsters. The difference was that he was out during daytime, and we never seen them out during daytime. So he was a daywalker monster and everything. But yeah, I don't want to see the Julie thing. I could see them doing that. If they do it, it's obviously it's set up. You could say this is what it is and everything else, and people can't say it. Doesn't mean you have to like it. I could see him doing that. To me, that would be an easy way out. I would hope they do something else, but I 100% could see that. When you're dealing with the other little village there, I think what's going to happen is that Boyd's going to get ran out of town by Acosta and Kenny.
Yep.
Kenny is going to want to go with Boyd, but he's going to say, no, you have to say we can't have a hothead like Acosta taking over. You have to stay. And then Boyd's going to leave with Fatima and Ellis, and they're going to go to that little town, that little place over there. While they're over there and they go over there, Acosta and Kenny fuck up. Acosta will be killed, and the monsters will start slaughtering everyone because Boyd's not there. And then Boyd will be forced to come back after that.
And
that's how you get Boyd back. Yeah, I think that's how it goes down. I think, he's going to pay for what he did to Elgin, the torturing and everything else. Father Khatri warned them. Again, we have to look at what the theme was, what they said. The theme was the monsters wanted to break Boyd. How they first attempted to break Boyd was killing another town person. They didn't want to break him physically by killing him, so they killed someone in front of him. So the way to break Boyd truly is to take him out of the equation while he has to watch while everyone else gets killed because he's not there. So I think that's what Father Khatri was trying to warn him about. But he went there anyway. And when he went there, and I'm gonna tell you straight up, it's Elgin's, it's Boyd's son's fault. Because none of this would ever happen if it was me.
Ellis?
Yeah. It's 100% Ellis's fault. This never happened if it was me. Let me tell you exactly how the Don would have had this. If I'm walking by we were standing by a little lake or whatever they were, the little burrows or whatever they call it, where they go swimming and shit. And Elgin gives me the hint that he gave him right then. Elgin's head's going in the water.
Yeah.
Right then, on the spot. I'm not going to walk with Elgin back and then say, Dad, I think he knows. Like,
or at that point in time, I'm going with Boyd with handcuffs, and we're going to grab Elgin right there together. Like in that moment, it's not like just, I think it's, we got to go apprehend Elgin now.
Yeah, the Brundles. Thank you very much, Belcho. No, I would have put his head right in the fucking water. He's getting waterboarded right then. Right then. On the spot. If it's my fiance, the woman I love, I ain't got no time for nothing, bro. I ain't got no time for nothing. You're putting your head in. You said he gave it all away. It was too much. To the fact that Ellis picked up on it, that he told Boyd, but he didn't do nothing about it. And then when he gets him in the house, then he wants to start like he wants to try to attack him. I'll kill you. Everyone's holding him back. You should have been like that from the jump, brother. You should have been like that when you first heard that shit. Trust me, I would have put his head. He would have been right in there. Right in the water, getting waterboarded right then. Like, you're gonna drown tonight, bruh. You about to drown. Or you better give it up right now. And if you willing to drown and not give it up, then you just gonna drown. And that's just the way it's going in. That's the way it's going down. Because I'm trying to tell you, I'm not calm like that. I'm from Queens, New York. And I ain't playing with no games. When you mess with my shorty, man, like that, your ass is mine. Pause. You know what I mean? This ain't Diddy party way either. You know what I mean? And nothing like that. But I might send you to a Diddy.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Fatima cutting Tilly.
Yeah. Stabbing her. She didn't cut her. She just stabbed in the chest. She stabbed and said, yeah, Fatima will have to go. That whole Tilly situation will come out. But she'll have to get out of there. Ellis will go with her, and it'll be those three. They're all gonna go over to those cabins. I'm telling you, remember the Don said this is how it's gonna go in the season. They're all gonna get kicked out. Costa's gonna take power, and most likely in the show, as much as I hate to say it, she'll probably seduce Kenny, which is not gonna be hard to do.
Oh, Kenny's gonna be hard. Kenny's gonna be very hard, Tony.
Even when he's hard, she probably won't even notice. But you see, she's going to get him to go over there, to go with her on her side. And then she put the Batman voice on him. I seen what you did, boy.
This town needs you, Kenny.
And then they'll take over the post office, and it's gonna be a shit show.
Kenny, come in the back door.
Now, listen, I don't think Kenny's mad enough to run it. Because I gotta put it like this, man. I gotta put it like this. Randall got up in that house with those two chicks in 2 seconds.
Oh, Randall has game.
Randall got right up in that house with them. That should have been Kenny in that house with them. That should have been.
Randall knows how to play that beaten. That
should have been Kenny up in there. It's been Randall up in there with those two chicks. You know what I mean? And Randall's dick is now. If you ever see that that glass, they used to sell glass tubes.
I'm Batman
with a cigarette in it, and it would say, "In case of emergency, break glass." You remember those back in the day, Phil?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Randall's dick is in there now.
the emergency cigarette thing.
Yeah. Randall's dick is the emergency cigarette now that he's up in there, and that's the perfect position to be in.
Listen, Jackie C, I'm the hero this town needs.
The just in case dick. I do think that Acosta is going to get her hooks into Kenny. I just don't know if she's going to have to go that far with him, Tony. I think she's just going to have to give him the tease of it.
You see how she was when Chrissy kissed his cheek? How this motherfucker started skipping.
Yep.
Go back and watch the episode. Kenny's over here skipping and shit.
If she gives him a handshake and a hug, if you know what I mean, like he's okay. All she needs to do is give him a little handshake.
Kiss on the cheek. He got this brother skipping like that.
Yeah, a little happy handshake.
He dropped the high waters and put some regular jeans on and shit.
Yeah. Oh God, he dropped Boyd like a bad habit, dude. He would drop Boyd like a bad habit.
Are you crazy? He be
Yeah, you know what I'm
there.
saying, Bill Chill. A little hug, a little handshake, a little blow
Yeah.
away. You know what I'm saying.
It'll be a wrap. You know what I mean? So, I mean but that's how I see this season going. If it goes a different route, I can't see how it's possible for it to go a different route because they set it up Acosta dropping dime. Like she already said, she's telling. And then Boyd's going to lose the and Father Kotri told Boyd that he would lose trust of the town if he did this. The fact that you have those two elements that's already been in the show, it's impossible for it to go any other way. He has to lose trust in the town and the people. And I'm telling you, like I've always said, in every cop movie that has ever been made, at one point, you hear them say, "Give me your shield and your gun." Every one of them. That always happens. The cop, the FBI person, whoever you want to think of, they always got to hand over the shield and the gun at some point. He took Acosta's gun, and now she's going to take his gun and his badge.
Give it over, John McClane. Happened in Die Hard 3.
It's not a movie that hasn't happening. There's not a movie you can name it hasn't happened. Happens in every one. Turning your badge and your gun, as John Haymaker said. That is what it is. And she's going to do it to him, and he's going to be sent out there.
No, and I think when we get into like what's going to happen next season, to your point right there, Tony, I think it's already a lot of it has already been set up. We're going to have, as you just said, however it transpires. I tend to agree, and we were talking about this a little bit at the end of the season. I tend to agree with what you were saying there about how Boyd will end up in that other place in the secondary village, by the cave, or in that other area, and then Acosta and Kenny will drop the ball. I think you're on to something with the Acosta dying and all of that, and Kenny comes crying, and Boyd has to come back and save the day, and a lot of other people maybe get killed as well. And I also think you've set up the Elgin, the position he's in, and someone in the chat asked a question: will Boyd take the rap for Sarah?
Yes.
I think he will too. Yeah, I think yes is the answer to that. And I think so Sarah's going to stay in town and take care of Elgin and nurse him back to safety. And Julie's going to be time traveling bullshit. So I think all of that, and we're going to learn more about the Man in Yellow. I think that's next season.
That's where it's going to go. And when this happens and y'all doubt me, I'll just be looking at you saying, I fucking told you. Because this is the way it's going down. I'm trying to tell you.
What's Tabitha going to be up to this season? She's had a couple of big seasons in a row. Does Tabitha continue to be a big character?
She's going to have to sleep with
Jade.
With Jade at some point. Jade, the comforter. The comforter role is Jade this season because he's going to feel responsible for Jim being dead. She's going to be in the house alone. She's not going to, and we've already heard Julie say, I can't take care of Ethan if you guys fall apart again. So that means she has already fell apart before. So therefore, she's going to fall apart again. And now that she has a connection to Jade and she has some other child with Jade, it will be her and Jade. And that's the way it's going to go.
You think they're going to have, so you think they're going to have a child?
I don't know if they're going to have a child, but I just know they're going to imply that they're having, I don't think they'll show it, but they're going to imply that they're going to do something together. He'll be there with her the whole season. Jade will be with Tabitha.
I agree. Their stories will be interwoven together.
And then when you deal with Victor, Victor's story will be with his father finding Eloise. That Eloise really isn't dead. Now, whether Eloise is Sarah reincarnated or she's not dead, we'll figure that out. But the fact that they said that, there were so many little bits I couldn't tell it was her, they're setting up that she's still alive somehow.
But Victor's dad's dead man walking. As soon as we get to Eloise, she's probably going to kill Victor's dad by accident or something. Victor's dad's going to die.
It makes more sense that it's Sarah is Eloise growing up. that it's become Sarah, because you've had Victor hanging out with Sarah too much, doing the tent stuff with him going to Sarah specifically and everything else. It just makes more sense to have her be Sarah, that Eloise is Sarah. Whether she escaped and was Sarah when she escaped or whatever, she was too young. If she's that, she should be much older than that. So it would have to be a reincarnated situation. But it makes more sense that it's Sarah than Eloise just hiding out in the woods this whole time and she survived because she was good at playing hide and seek. You know,
Either way, I do think we will find out this season.
Yeah, and if it was that, then she's going to be the person knocking on the door on the outside over there. Yeah. It's going to be, they're going to open the door and think it's, and
or one of those weird looking people we saw in the caves a couple seasons ago. Or maybe that's Eloise.
It's going to be something like that. But again, you need to explain the guy drinking the blood in the skull. Like, you need to put some respect on that man's name and do something about that. Like, you need to have that there. Like, why isn't that there? Why did you show that if that's not leading to anything?
I mean, I want ultimate answers and all that sort of stuff, but is this show in some ways going to be one of those shows that leaves a lot of little things like that unanswered? Like, we'll never know who dragged the tent. Or the fact that we went back and found out who dropped the rope. Were they telling us, don't worry, we'll answer all your questions at some point?
All right. So we have a thing that says Sarah can't be Eloise because that's not how reincarnation
I'll be right
works. Back. Yeah. So reincarnation is when you die and you come back as somebody. So it would work like that. And because Jade and Tabitha are the only people reincarnated. So from what we know, Jade and Tabitha, you are correct on that, are the only two that we know. And they said that specifically that they got reincarnated in this way because of what they did, because they were the ones who didn't go follow through with the whole ritual and the wish. But I can say this. If their child, who they seen, right, the child that they seen that died because it has the same DNA as them, could be the whole reincarnated thing. It could have went through that whole transition, right? That child of theirs, because that child bears their blood together, could have went through that whole transformation. You know what I'm saying? And became Sarah. Because again, they said straight up that it was not without a doubt that Tabitha was going to wind up there no matter what she did because of what happened in the past. It could be the same exact thing. That could be their child reincarnated over and over again. The little girl that we've seen could be that. Again, you got to understand, she is, go through it. She is Miranda. Miranda had sex with Victor's mother. I mean, Miranda had a father, who we see there, had two children, Victor and Eloise. That girl that she had with Christopher back in the day, and then she had a kid with Christopher. That could be because they are all there because of that bloodline. And anyone associated with their bloodline get sucked into it because of what they did. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I'll explain that correct and everything else. So I think that's how it would work. I don't think that they just picked Sarah out of a hat to have them do all this stuff with Victor, to be able to calm Victor down, to sit in a tent with Victor. You sit in a tent. Y'all built tents with chairs and shit when you were little. Who'd you do that with? You did that with your sibling. When I built tents with sheets on chairs and stuff, I did that with my siblings in my house. And so did y'all. That's a sibling thing. They had a picture of Miranda, Victor, and Tabitha, Victor, and Sarah all together. Excuse me. This, and they didn't put it in the show, but they all took a picture on the steps together. It makes sense to have Victor there, but why did they have Sarah there too? Unless she has something to do with it. Sarah is the first person we see in the show from the town that they show us the town. The first person they show us in this show, and you can go back to episode 1, is Sarah. She's the first one. She's the one getting the messages. She's the one who Boyd says, who Father Khatri says, somehow she's connected to this place.
Yeah, he protects her.
Right? That's the words that comes out of Father Khatri's mouth. Somehow Sarah is connected to this place. So if you want to say, how else would she be connected if it's not a bloodline situation? And that's why she's connected. And even the little girl who was there holding hands with the boy when he passed away, Sarah came in there with her brother. Go ahead, Phil.
Oh, I was just going to say what CFH072, man, I hope it's not like that, Phil. I want answers to everything. I don't want to be like things we're supposed to assume, like the man in yellow wasn't responsible for stuff like the jukebox. I hope they don't do that. But what I was asking is, since they went back and kind of showed us what the rope was a season and a half later, does that kind of show to us that they will pay attention to the little things and show us things in the future? And I'm kind of hoping that was a way of saying, don't worry, we're not forgetting about things. The one thing I did want to talk about, excuse me for 1 second, in talking about whether they'll do a whole season of Julie's dream walking or time traveling or whatever. One of the weaknesses that some people could say, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tony, because it's been a while since I've watched it, but of season 2 was that there was too much of like the Cicadia storyline, that they like stuck to that too much. So there is precedent. And then maybe last season, even though I think season 3 was an improvement over season 2, there was probably maybe a little bit too much focus on Fatima's pregnancy and where they could have focused on a few other things, maybe a little bit too much of that. So it is safe to kind of have fear on that, but hopefully they've learned and they figure out the right balance.
Even when you look at that, right? When you look at that whole situation, what you just said, that connects to Sarah. It all connects to Sarah when it all comes back, whether it's Boyd going out there with the tent being dragged. Everything connects to Sarah. Sarah being able to hear the music box in the spot where they were able to teleport and no one else can hear it. Sarah is connected to this place. The only way she could be connected to it, her brother had the dream of the Cicadias, was his nightmares that put them in the air in this place. Again, it's all connected to Sarah. So Sarah is connected by blood. And it's by the blood of Jade and Tabitha, which would be Eloise or whatever you want to call it. That is what it's going to be. She is Tabitha's daughter and everything up. I would have a problem with, Victor's dad might want to hit her. It's his ex-wife and shit. Miranda, he might want to hit Tabitha. He might say, for old time's sake.
I thought he was kind of trying in the last.
It doesn't have. Would she still have feelings for him? Is this a Hawkman, Hawkwoman?
No. I mean, like I go with Star Trek Deep Space Nine with like the Trills, and if you're in another sort of body situation, you don't have romantic transformation into like other things. It's different. You got to figure that shit's different, right?
Yeah, I would.
You ever see that movie? It's a. Do you ever see the movie Chances Are? It's like an old movie, Robert Downey Jr. movie with him and Sybil Shepherd, and like he plays like the reincarnated version of her like husband that dies. It's like an 80s movie. It's before Robert Downey Jr. went to rehab. It's like one of his early movies. It's a comedy. It's pretty funny.
Let me answer Glenn Carter's question. He said, I thought you said it's all about Victor. Now you're saying it's all about Sarah. Pick one. I don't have to pick one. So I don't know what you mean by I said it's all about Victor. I've said from the jump, and I'll tell you again, and I'll say it right now. Victor is the boy in white. If Victor is Sarah, it's all about Victor because Victor is Miranda's child. Miranda is also Tabitha. So if if Sarah is the child also, Eloise, then it would be about the both of them, right? You would have to split that. So what would be wrong with that? If it's about Victor, it would be about Eloise, which would be about Sarah. If that's Eloise, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know what you mean. I don't have to pick one. It could be both. But without a shadow of a doubt, I guarantee you that when this is all said and done, he is going to be the boy in white. That's going to be. It's not even a question. It's not nothing that I think that I've come up with. It's that they've already told you this, and I've showed it to you numerous times. This is what it is. This is what it's gonna be. I mean, y'all can hate it. You could not like it. It could be whatever it is, but I'm trying to tell you, Victor the boy in white. That's him. That is him. That is him. Whether it's a construct of his imagination or it's going to be Victor in the end. No doubt about it. This is Glenn Carr timestamp. I'm taking this bet. Phil, have I been saying this since like season 1, bro? Are you still there?
Definitely
Phil?
about the yes, I am. No, I'm here. Definitely
All right.
the boy in white is Victor. You've been saying that since
This ain't
season 1.
new. I'm not saying this like I'm saying something new. I've been saying this from day one that this is the case. I've showed y'all the proof that this is the case. But y'all, no one want to believe it. You don't have to believe it, but that's what it is. If I can pull it, I'll pull it up right now if I can for you real quick. Phil, hold it down. Why? I put this up here.
Jay Sleek's like, then who's the girl in the white? He's not the boy in white. I think 100% they will show us eventually who dragged the tent. I'm still not against a giant spider just because I like giant spiders. Yes, Sonic, your boy. There's a Star Trek reference in every stream. Do you know what the funny part about that
I
is?
already told you I would.
Is I don't do it on purpose. I imagine Michael Bay producing the next season. Somebody, yeah, that would be funny. That would be hilarious. I mean, I don't want to see that much action. I just want to see, I would rather Wes Craven come back from the dead and do the next season for whatever reason. That would be something fun like that. But yes, I can't help the Star Trek reference. It just happens. And Tony, yeah, you have been talking about Victor as the boy in white from the whole time. And I'm with you on the, like, you've convinced me with the boy in white with Victor's. I do think Sarah has severe significance. I'm not quite on board with the Eloise thing 100% yet, but I am open for it and seeing where things go. I do think her significance will come into play, and she definitely has some bigger significance than she shows. But when it comes to, and I know that, and you've been saying that for a while too, I think since the end of season 2 with the Sarah stuff. But with the boy in white and Victor, that's been since the very beginning.
From the beginning. It is what it is. I don't know. Listen, y'all could think it, say it's not going to be that, and you may not want it to be that, but in the end, that's what it's going to be.
Do you know
Again,
what?
Y'all have to realize that Victor wasn't supposed to make it past season 1. They had plans on killing Victor off in season 1, and they switched those plans up from it. I would think it would be in this folder.
Now, I must say, my poll, no pause, is doing better than I thought. Or your poll, 55 votes so far. Will Elgin smash Sarah? 60% no, 40% yes. So 40%. 40%.
That's why we don't end the polls early, Phil.
60-40, Tony. 60-40. People are coming to my side.
There's no doubt about it. Again, I mean, I can't find the picture. I really can't, unfortunately, for whatever reason, I can't. But let's go. Let me drop this, remove this, and let me screen share this real thing real quick. Stop screen share. All right, present. I mean, if y'all window, if y'all want to be, I'm gonna share this real quick. Listen, if y'all wanna believe what these guys are trying to tell you, this is the boy in white, right? Look at him. You see his pants, you see his face.
Crow face.
Now the showrunners would have you believe that this is how they draw little kids. That's what he said to you. He said, every time I draw little kids, it looks like a grown ass man. I call bullshit. All right. I've seen other drawings of little kids. This is the boy in white. He's a grown ass man. Again, Sarah said when she goes, you talk to the boy in white, she says specifically, I don't think he's a boy. Says it. He's not a boy. He's a grown ass man. This person, the boy in white, Victor, same motherfucker. Same person.
See, you're on some deep shit here, Tony. I'm just wondering like how he does his laundry and how they all keep their. I'm still stuck on like how does he keep the whites so white? Does he have Mrs. Brady in there? Is Mrs. Brady doing the whites?
He might have Mrs. Brady in there, guys.
I'd like to have Mrs. Brady. Oh my goodness.
What? Jackie got a membership? Gives Jackie honorary membership. What does that mean?
I think everyone was just giving her sort of like the participation trophy, being like, she's getting an honorary membership.
I didn't even know you could do that. Oh,
no, you can't really. It was just like, in spirit. In spirit.
I thought she actually got.
No. It's just a horrible joke at this point.
You gotta leave Jackie alone.
It's got the comical
it's
levels.
Not in this folder. I wish it was. I don't know what folder it actually is in. Oh, there it was. Real quick. All right, let's go through it real quick. Here is the cast members' names of everyone there. All right? And we can go through them. It says Pega, Fatima, Ricky He, Kenny Lou, Cynthia, she was the sexiest one on the show, Trudy, Scott, Victor, Corton, Ellis, David, Jade, Simon, Ethan Matthews, Sean, Father Cotry, Vox Smith, Victor, Elizabeth, I can't see it, it's cut off there. We know who they are. In order to believe that this is not true, you would have to really believe that they got everyone else wrong. Everyone wrong but that one. They got one wrong out of everybody. That everyone else is right. They got every name here right. Every name. But all of a sudden, when it comes to Vox Smith, who plays the boy in white, they didn't know what to call him, so they just decided on calling him Victor. They just said, oh, let's make up a name here and just say, well, how about we just say his name is Victor? That's what you would have to believe. And if you want to believe that, I got a bridge in Brooklyn for sale.
I got some mountainlands in Florida for you too.
Hit me up. I got something for you. I got you. They got everybody else right, but this one name all of a sudden is wrong. They got every name in the whole thing is right, but this is the one name for whatever reason. They didn't name him Tyrone. They didn't name him Tony Teflon.
That would have been a good. That would have been a good name for him, though. He should have been. He should have been Tony Teflon.
Well, I don't know if he can hold that weight. That's heavy
That's what it is. It is a lot of weight.
That's pretty heavy to hold and stuff. But all of a sudden, they got it wrong. I mean, it's obvious. Again, Game of Thrones did the same thing. When the Night King aired in Game of Thrones, he was known as the Night King. That's if you looked at the credit from that show, it says the Night King. But then if you go past that, and you look at it after they got a chance to fix it, they changed the name from the Night King
to like Monster or to Unknown whatever it was.
They changed the name after that. But the original name was the Night King. Then they changed the name. Because George didn't put that in the books yet, and they fucked up and they put it out there. And that's what it is. This is the facts, people. This is what it is. I'm not saying I did this by sleuthing or anything. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying the facts of what it's going to be. And this is what it is. Right.
This picture makes me have to ask one question, though. Is Father Cautry going to get more screen time next season again? We're going to see more Cautry? Will this guy just die?
He'll come back and say some shit. I told you so. Yeah, look at you now in this little ass cabin.
He's coming back.
And that's just what it is. And so what if they just messed up on purpose just to mess with us fans? Y'all are giving them too much credit, man.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You're giving them too much credit. They ain't got time for that shit. They put it out there and fucked up that they put it out there and changed it. That's what happened. Mistakes happen all the time. And they made a mistake. And that's what it is. The boy in white is Victor. That's it, man. It's that simple. Easy peasy, Ebenezer. It's the way it's going down, I promise you. That's what it's going to be when it's all said and done. All right, our 2-hour limit is up, so we're going to get out of here. So let me say this, because I'm this type of guy I am. I know there was someone, Sci-Fi Vision, was here in the chat. I know that channel does cover From. So if y'all want to go check out Sci-Fi Vision, I suggest that you do. She covers a lot of other shows too. Never invited me and Phil on, but that's all right. We're still going to just shout them out.
I don't get invited anywhere, Tony. No one likes me.
Me either, Phil. So Sci-Fi Vision, go check out that channel. And right now, if y'all want to go over to Julie B's Deep Dive, she should have Doug Hugh, who plays the Man in Yellow, live on there with her. So go over there. He don't know shit.
Oh yeah. And we can end the poll or not end the poll. The poll is basically at 62 votes, 63% no, 37% yes. So I'm not the only one. All I care about is I'm not the only one.
Yeah, he won't give away a lot because he don't know nothing to give away. But you can go over to Julie B Deep Dives right now. If y'all want to keep talking From, she should be live right now with Doug Hugh, the Man in Yellow, and stuff like that. So listen, it'd be a great opportunity if you never had a chance to do that. You know, to say hi to Doug Hugh and everything else. You know what I mean? He's a good guy. And all right. So go over there, tell the Don Tony Teflon sent you.
This is my Man in Yellow, but like I like him too. This is Data's my Man in Yellow, but he's my second Man in Yellow. So definitely go over there and talk to him. Doug's
going on the fandom, D Saint, and everything else. Don always sends love. You know what I mean? The people. I got love for people and everything else. Kenny still ain't getting no ass. I promise you that. And they need to have us on the goddamn show. Phil, what you got coming up on your channel?
I'm not sure if anything before the holiday, but I will be coming up soon with some Soprano stuff. We're going to do some more music stuff and a couple more top lists. I had Tony on the other night to talk about most overrated movies. Going to do a couple more things like that until a new show comes out. And I think I might end up talking about the final season of Squid Games that comes out in a couple days. It's a Netflix show, but I might just do like a one-off right after it's over with. Quick thoughts. All
right, that's what it is. So definitely check out and subscribe to Phil the Issues Guys channel. Don, I'll be back. I will get these Videos up this week. I promise I will get them up.
Oh yeah, Mobland got approved for another season, which is
Mobland season 2. I'll cover the whole season.
And Y-Crow that's coming at some point this year, at the beginning of next year, even though there hasn't been any word on it. I will definitely be covering that show whenever it does come and whenever we get any word on it.
The Institution is coming out on MGM Plus, so you should definitely cover that too. That's made by the people who made Lost and made From. That's their next show called The Institution. So definitely check that out and everything else. Listen, hope you had a great time hanging out with the Don Tony Teflon Fill the Issues guy. Go over there and check those people out. Give them some views. Tell them the Don sent you and stuff like that. Go to Sci-Fi Vision. Tell them the Don sent you and all that. We ain't afraid to spread the love to other channels and stuff like that and thinking y'all not gonna come
I'm
back.
all about being like the Miracle on 34th Street Santa Claus, you know, like don't shop here, shop at Gimbals if that's what you want. You know, we'll tell you what to go there.
Go on Instagram and tell that Acosta that she needs to come on Tony Teflon show. That's how you do it. I want y'all all to go over there to Acosta's channel on Instagram and say you need to do an interview on Teflon TV. Make it happen. The people, y'all can make it happen. And if you like the way we do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is.